Hello, I am Prof. Grizwald, and welcome back to InFamous Second Age Power Ideas. The power we're going to be doing today is paper. Now, before we officially start off this video, I just wanted to say that I'm very sorry for the late upload today. Mostly because this isn't the day I'm supposed to be doing videos. I'm supposed to have done it yesterday. But sadly, last night I just was so tired I fell asleep before I did my videos. And I was hoping I'd wake up like just late at like midnight, but I woke up the next day, sadly. But now that I've apologized, we can now continue with the video. Now, with the paper power, we know that the paper conduit is Celise. Their fighting style, I describe it as floaty flying. I want this to be like, maybe there's some enemies up on like the top of a building, and you just whoosh yourself up, and you stay in the air and avoid their bullets and everything, and you just taking them down. Now for their melee weapon, I just couldn't think of anything. I'm like thinking, what sort of like melee weapon could a like petite, small, floating around, flying around power give you? Because think about it. If I'm flying around, what reason do I have to go in there and melee them? I have no reason to do that. But I hope the community will help me with this and give me some ideas for a melee weapon. That'd be so much help. That'd be awesome. Now let's move on to everything else. The bolt, I'm thinking it should be like paper shurikens. And so you just throw them out, straight like Genji, but paper, of course. And I'm thinking, does damage over time bleed? And I'm thinking, like, let's say you're messing up like a big brigade of soldiers, and they run away. Oh, but I just bled all their targets, so now I just run along the trail and boom, I got them. Or maybe if, let's say, like one of the other factions gets a hold of a paper conduit or a paper pseudo conduit, they bleed you up with their power, and then let's say you run away because you're about to die, you're a lot easier to track because boom, you're bleeding. Alright. Now the rocket, I'm thinking should be just one big paper airplane that does like tracking on like stronger enemies, because like it's just flying through the air and it just quote unquote happens, and because it's all conduity and stuff, goes straight onto the the strongest dude. I think that makes sense. And I'll just all these do like awesome bleeding damage over time. Just didn't feel like I had to say it more than once. The grenade is like an airplane drone, so you throw it out and it'll do like reconnaissance, and like maybe there's an upgrade where it can kind of just do overtime damage to things and it can get shot down. And I think that's a good idea if it's like, man, I don't know how many bad guys are on the other side of this wall. Throw out my drone, boom, we're done. I know I will not done, but like, it's like, oh man, this will give me an edge by knowing how many are there. There are about 50 million guards on the other side. I don't think you'd win that fight even if you knew. Now the movement is going to be airplane glide. Now I'm thinking, like Celise or whoever it was in the paper trail was doing like a thing where they just turned into the paper and flew along with the wind and stuff, and I'm thinking we could still have that flying along with the wind. So I'm thinking like you like, I'm thinking it's very similar to the video sort of movement where you just kind of like grow wings, but you just kind of whoosh up to the air. Like you can whoosh them in the air everywhere because air is everywhere. And you just kind of glide quickly everywhere. And I think that makes a lot of sense, and that would help with like gliding in the middle of the sky to, of course, be your floaty flying self. And I'm thinking the karma bomb is paper storm. And so imagine this. I'm going to be doing like hand signals that no one will be able to see. But Delson, he rises his hands both in the air, and he just makes an entire storm of like paper all around the area, whether it's like posters, paper airplanes, just garbage bags, every paper, every kind of paper. They all start spinning around him, making a big storm that really ruffles people's jammies, and then he stops them. And then what he does is he just pushes his hands forward and then there's just this big like I'm not really sure the word, but it's like endless death and destruction in the area of all the paper, like a hurricane, but like on a really larger scale. Like I don't really know the words to describe it, but like paper going everywhere in a certain like square area. And it's just havoc and horrible stuff. It's bleeding everybody, it's killing everybody in it, and it's real bad. Feels bad. And I'm thinking this will be pretty cool. You know, it sounds a little idle, but like it has this thing where the whole paper comes around, and then it goes, and then you're free to do everything while it does all its damage. And I think that's a good idea. Anything else to talk about? I don't think there is. I believe that was the end of it. The bolt, the drone, sleeves. Alright, this all seems to be good. I hope you enjoy, or shall I say enjoyed the video. Hope you all have an amazing day, an amazing life, an amazing night. And goodbye. That was a little awkward, the little pause I had. Goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye.